The second day of the Central Regional Qualifiers was just as exciting as the first, and the first contest was a walk in the park for Winneba Senior High School. Let's see how it went.
Academy of Christ the King. We have Mando Senior High Technical School. We have Mankesim Senior High Technical School. And finally, Dunkwao Senior High Technical School. In this round, I'll start with Academy of Christ the King. Find the gravitational force the two 1.0 kilogram masses exert on each other when they are 3.0 meters apart.
Okay, so we have the answer to be 7.4 times 10 exponent negative 12 newtons.
That is correct. Manchester Senior High Technical School. Find the gravitational force the two 1.0 kilogram masses exert on each other when they are 0.20 meters apart. Yes, go ahead.
The gravitational force will be 1.089 times 10 to the power 8 Newton.
That is incorrect. A bonus to Academy of Christ the King.
Okay, so we have the force to be 1.7 times 10 exponent negative 10 newtons.
That is incorrect.
Negative.
It's 1.7 times 10 exponent negative 9 newtons. Dunkwao Senior High Technical School. Find the gravitational force the two 1.0 kilogram masses exert on each other when they are 0.01 meters apart. Yes.
And then we have 1.409 times 10 to the power negative 6.
That is incorrect.
Newtons.
A bonus to Academy of Christ the King.
Okay, so we have the force to be 6.7 times 10 exponent negative 7 newtons.
That is correct.
Even though Academy of Christ the King seemed to be having a field day, they were actually losing points from answering bonus questions wrongly.
Minus tan 15 degrees, bracket closed, over, bracket open, 1 minus tan 45 degrees, tan 15 degrees, bracket closed. A bonus to Academy of Christ the King.
Please, you have the answer to be root 3 on 3.
No, that's incorrect.
Hi.
No, it's only one attempt at bonus. The answer is 1. Dunkwao, the control room of the cell.
The nucleus.
That is correct. On that note, we end round 1. Round 2 is where we have the speed race.
The speed race was practically a one-man show, as Winneba Senior High School picked most of the questions.
School to ring the bell and answer correctly gets 3 points. Okay, our first question for this round. Find the kinetic energy of a 5 kilogram object released from a height of 4 meters when the object strikes the ground. Yes, Winneba.
200 joules.
That is correct. Find the matrix representation of the transformation T such that x, y goes to bracket open 2x minus y, comma, minus 2x plus 3y. Okay. Winneba.
So, madam, you have 2, negative 1, negative 2, 3.
Okay, that's right. Solve the compound linear inequality. Minus 5 less than 3 plus 2x less than 9. Okay. Academy of Christ the King.
Okay, so we have the answer to be negative 4 less than x less than 3.
That is correct. That brings us to the end of round 2.
At the end of the second round, Winneba Senior High School was in the lead with an 18-point margin, and they further widened it by answering all but one of their true or false statements correctly.
I'll start with Winneba Senior High School. A gas that is neutral to litmus and gives an explosion with lighted splint is likely to be hydrogen.
True.
That is correct. Mankesim, a fuming gas with a pungent smell produced when concentrated H2SO4 added to Ki solid is likely to be iodine vapor.
False.
That's correct. Mando, the function y equals the square root of the expression x minus 3 has range y is such that y is greater than 3.
False.
Repeat your answer.
False.
No, that's right. Mankesim. The electric force on a positive charge moving in an electric field is perpendicular to the electric field.
False.
That is correct. Obrieboa, for an ideal gas, a plot of PV versus T at different temperatures will give a straight line.
True.
That is correct. On that note, we end round 3. Round 4. There are 4 riddles in this round, and each question is open to all the schools. I'll read out a series of clues to each riddle, and the first school to ring the bell gets the opportunity to answer. Our first riddle. I am a polynomial function. My graph is either concave up or concave down. Academy of Christ the King.
Quadratic function.
That is correct. That was answered on the second clue, 4 points. I come into play when an atom decides to socialize. With me as your aid, you can account for the various shapes of molecules. Academy of Christ the King.
Hybridization.
That is correct. Our last riddle. I am an extracellular fluid. I am very important in the sense of taste. I am the liquid medium in which chemicals are carried to taste receptor cells. I contribute to... Okay, 2.
The saliva.
That is correct. That brings us to the end of round 4. The National Science and Maths Quiz is sponsored by the Ghana Education Service with support from Dano Milk and Joy News. This is a primetime production. At the end of round 4, here are the scores. Mankesim Senior High Technical School, 10 points. Obrieboa Senior High School, 11 points. Mando Senior High Technical School, 12 points.
Winneba Senior High School received an extra 500 Ghana cedis on their winning prize of 1,000 Ghana cedis for winning the contest with more than 39 points.
Winneba Senior High School, 49 points. This is the Central Regional Qualifiers of the 2020 National Science.
Just like the first contest was a piece of cake for Winneba Senior High School, the second contest of the day was also an easy win for Agri Memorial Senior High School.
Odobin Senior High School. JEA Mills Senior High School. Jase Senior High School, and Agri Memorial Zion Senior High School. My name is Thelma Ohinieje, and I am your quiz mistress. The National Science and Maths Quiz is sponsored by the Ghana Education Service with support from Dano Milk and Joy News. This is a primetime production.
The first round was quite competitive as all 5 schools did their best to answer their questions correctly.
Moves along the x-axis with a constant acceleration of 8 meters per second squared. Find the velocity of the particle after 5 seconds if its initial velocity is 20 meters per second. Yes.
The answer is 60 meters per second.
I'll take that. That's right. Odobin Senior High School. A particle moves along the x-axis with a constant acceleration of 8 meters per second squared. Find the velocity of the particle 5 seconds after its velocity attains minus 10 meters per second.
30 meters per second.
That's correct. JEA Mills, SHS. A particle moves along the x-axis with a constant acceleration of minus 6 meters per second squared. Find the velocity of the particle after 5 seconds if its initial velocity is 20 meters per second.
Minus 10 meters per second.
That's correct. Agri Memorial. A particle moves along the y-axis with a constant acceleration. Find the acceleration of the particle if its velocity changes from 25 meters per second to 20 meters per second in 5 seconds.
-1 meter per second squared.
That is correct. A preamble to all the schools. Describe amoeba with respect to the following. Describe amoeba with respect to the following. Ekumfitia mass habitat. Habitat. Yes.
It is fresh water.
No. This I would give a bonus. Yeah, Odobin.
Madam, please, they live in stagnant waters, which
No.
includes ponds and ditches.
No, I won't give that. Odobin. Locomotion.
They use pseudopodia as means for locomotion.
That is correct. Shape. JEA Mills. Shape.
They have irregular shape.
I'll give that. Agri Memorial. Number of nuclei in the cell.
They have only 1 nuclei.
That is correct. On that note, we end round 1. This brings us to round 2. Our first question.
The speed race did not go entirely well for the schools. It was just so.
Takes off with a speed of 8.0 meters per second. Find the magnitude of the force that kicks the object if the kick lasts for 50 milliseconds. Yes, agree.
400 newtons.
No. Ekumfi. Yes, Ekumfi TI mass.
80 newtons.
That is correct. Find the equation of the circle with center C to be 2 minus 3 and area 35 pi square units. Okay, Odobin.
Madam, the equation is equal to x minus 2 all squared plus y plus 3 all squared equal to 49.
No. Who was next? Ekunfi, yes.
We had the equation of the circle to be x minus 2 all squared plus y plus 3 all squared should be equal to 35.
That is correct. Evaluate. Evaluate 345 squared minus 655 squared. Yes, Ekunfi. Ekunfi Tiamas.
We had the answer to be negative 31000.
That is right. This brings us to the end of round 2. Okay, we have some substitutions. Agre Memorial Zion SHS would like Mark Jones de la C to come in for James Owusu-Ansah. Jase SHS would like Moses Donko to come in for Daniel Kweku. Round 3.
In the third round, Agri Memorial answered only one of their true or false statements wrongly, which placed them in a very comfortable lead.
They are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. That is correct. JEA Mills. When 3 concurrent forces are in equilibrium, 2 of the forces are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction.
It's false.
That is correct. Jase. If 2 of 3 concurrent forces in equilibrium are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction, then the third force vanishes.
False.
No, that is true. Agre Memorial Zion. If 2 of 3 concurrent forces in equilibrium are in the same direction, then the third force vanishes.
It's false.
That's correct. Ekunfi. If 2 of 3 concurrent forces in equilibrium are in the same direction, then the third force is in the opposite direction.
It's true.
That is correct. On that note, we end round 3. In round 4, I have 4 riddles for you. Our first riddle. You will find me in a sum. I am the components of addition. I am that which is to be added. Part of me is add, and a part is end. Add these 2, and you get me. Agre Memorial. I would allow, into the microphone.
The addend.
That is correct. That answer came on the last clue, so 3 points. I am a structural layer surrounding some types of cells. I can be tough, flexible, and sometimes rigid. My major function is to act as pressure vessels. JEA Mills.
Cellulose.
No. My major function is to act as pressure vessels, preventing overexpansion of the cell when water enters. Okay.
The cell wall.
That is correct. At the end of round 4, the scores are Jassy Senior High School, 12 points. Odobin Senior High School, 23 points.
For winning the contest with more than 39 points, Agri Memorial Senior High School also received an extra 500 Ghana cedis on their winning prize of 1,000 Ghana cedis. Congratulations to Agri Memorial Senior High School. Welcome back to the National Championship.
Welcome, contestants.
In the third contest of the day, the girls from Holy Child School faced very little hassle winning their contest.
Maths quiz is sponsored by the Ghana Education Service.
The first round of the contest was practically between Holy Child School and Trifu Praso Senior High School as they took turns answering bonus questions of their contenders.
Amamra Community Day. Y equals the expression x plus 3 multiplies the expression x minus 5. M equals 2. Bonus. Yes, Chifu Praso.
X equals 2 and y equals negative 15.
Okay, I'll take that. Holy Child. Y equals 5 plus 3x minus 2x squared. M equals negative 5.
X is equal to 2, y is equal to 7.
No. Bonus. Chifu Praso.
X equals 2, y equals 3.
That is correct. Nyankoma say y equals x squared plus 2 over x. M equals 0.
The coordinates are x is equal to 2, y is equal to 6.
Repeat the answer.
X is equal to 2, y is 6.
No. Chifu Praso.
X equals 1, y equals 3.
That is correct. Describe the following in reference to the body symmetry seen in animals. Chifu Praso is symmetrical.
It is a condition where an organism cannot be divided into any plane to produce mirror images. That is, they have no symmetry.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. Commander, spherical symmetry. Yes.
It is a condition in which the organism can be divided into many parts.
No, I won't take that. Yes, Holy Child.
It's a condition in which an organism can be divided into equal parts along any plane through the center of the organism.
Yes, that's right. Namanra Community Day. A diagonal is of length 16 centimeters and a side has length 17 centimeters.
9 centimeters squared.
Repeat the answer.
9 centimeters squared.
No, that's incorrect. Bonus. Yes, Chifu Praso.
272 centimeters squared.
No. The answer is 240 centimeters squared. That brings us to the end of round 1. This brings us to round 2 where we have the speed race.
Holy Child School dominated the second round as they picked most of the speed race questions.
Ring their bell and answers correctly gets 3 points. To our first question. Which organelle in the animal cell is the site for lipid biosynthesis and drug detoxification? Holy Child.
The smooth endoplasmic reticulum.
That's correct. CCl4 molecule may be regarded as a non-polar molecule, although the electronegativity difference between carbon and chlorine is large. What accounts for this? Yes, Holy Child.
This is because the molecule is symmetrical, so the bond polarities act in opposite directions, hence I'll
give that to you. Express the joule per Kelvin in SI base units. Holy Child.
kg m raised to the power 2, h raised to the power minus 2, k raised to the power minus 1.
That is correct. On that note, we end round 2. Namanura Community Day School would like to make a substitution. They would like Richard Nana Arthur to come in for Ebenezer Ahin. Welcome, Richard. Round 3. Round 3 is the true or false round.
Unlike the second round where only Holy Child School dominated, The third round went well for all the schools, as they all answered most of their statements correctly.
Yes.
It's true.
Yes. Namanura Community Day. Amoeba and Euglena are mobile, but do not possess cilia.
True.
Yes, that is correct. Holy Child. Amoeba and Euglena are both single-celled prokaryotes.
False.
Yes. Nyankumase. Amoeba and Euglena both take nutrients through ingestion.
True.
Yes, that's correct. Chifopraso. Amoeba and Euglena are both sensitive to external stimuli, such as light, temperature, chemicals, and touch.
True.
Yes, that's correct. Commander, the line 2y minus x equals 10 has an intercept of 10 on the y-axis. Yes.
It's false.
Yes. Namanura, a line with slope m and x-intercept b has equation y equals mx plus b.
False.
Yes. Holy Child. The lines with equations 3x minus 2y equals 5 and 2x plus 3y equals 10 are perpendicular.
False.
That's incorrect. Nyankumase. The lines with equations 2x minus 3y equals 5 and y equals 3x over 2 plus 5 are parallel.
False.
Yes. Chifopraso. The effective resistance of a parallel combination of two 10-ohm resistors is 5 ohms.
False.
No, it's true. That brings us to the end of round 3. So this brings us to the fourth round, where we have riddles. Our first riddle. I am a particle. I am one of the particles found in atoms. There are as many of me in a neutral atom as the atomic number of the atom. No, okay, so Commander.
Electrons.
No. Holy Child.
Protons.
Yes. I am not a member of the larger classes of elements in the periodic table. I am found wedged in between the classes like a bridge. Because of my unique position, I am endowed with the properties associated with both classes. I was named after a European country. The coastal line of that country is washed by the North Sea more than the Atlantic Ocean. Who am I? Yes, Holy Child.
Germanium.
Yes, that's right. That brings us to the end of round 4. The scores are Nyankumase Senior High School, 7 points. Namanura Community Day School, 8 points. Commander Senior High Technical School, 16 points. Chifopraso Senior High School, 17 points. Holy Child School, 35 points.
Congratulations once again to Holy Child School, and see you at the National Championship.
Well done to Holy Child, and congrats to all the other schools for giving us an interesting contest. Welcome to the Central Regional Qualifiers of the 2020 National Science and Maths Quiz. And this contest features Nsmq Girls Senior High School.
For the third consecutive year, Nsmq Girls Senior High School, one of the only 2 all-girls schools to have ever made it to the final stage of the Nsmq, lost the opportunity to participate in the national championship as they lost their contest to Asin State College.
I am Thelma Ohinieje and I am your quiz mistress. The National Science and Maths Quiz is sponsored by the Ghana Education Service with support from Dano Milk and Joy News. This is a prime-time production.
Asin State College were on top of their game. Not only did they answer most of their questions correctly, but also picked most of the bonus questions.
Of minerals by roots of plants. Infantaman.
Minerals are absorbed by roots of plants by osmosis.
No, I won't take that. Kwenyako.
The minerals move from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration, which is in the plant.
Yes, I'll take that. Odupong.
Absorption of minerals are in minute quantities.
No, I won't take that. Asan State.
Madam, it does not involve the usage of energy.
Yes. Adam, come on. Okay. Infantaman. Find the terminal voltage of a rechargeable battery of EMF 9.0 volts and internal resistance 0.20 ohms when being charged at a current of 0.5 amps.
8.89 volts.
No, I won't take that. Asan State.
The terminal voltage is 8.9 volts.
No. Kunyakun. Assume 0.100 Faraday of charge is passed through molten sample of KCl and of CaCl2. Calculate the mass in gram of the metal which will be deposited in greater quantity. The hand was up. Okay, like I said, go ahead and answer, but I'll allow you to answer. Yes.
2 grams.
No. I'll allow Asan State.
Madam, potassium will be deposited in excess and its mass is 3.9 grams.
That is correct. Odupong. Find the length of a simple pendulum of angular frequency 15 rad per second. Okay. They were bailed out, were they? So yes, so bonus to Asan State.
Madam, the length is 0.044 meters.
That is correct. This is the end of round 1. Round 2.
Even though the speedways did not go entirely well for all the schools, Asin State College still managed to pick most of the questions.
The first school that rings the bell and is ready with their answer. Answer correctly for 3 points. Our first question of this round. When scandium 45, atomic number 21, is bombarded with neutrons, it captures one and produces a new nuclide and an alpha particle. Identify the nuclide. Okay, Asin State. Yes.
The new nuclide is potassium with mass number 42 and atomic number 19.
That is right. What is the kinetic energy of a 2.5 kilogram object moving at 8.0 meters per second? Asan State.
The kinetic energy is 80 joules.
Yes. Find the change in internal energy of a system which undergoes a process in which it absorbs 80 kilojoules of heat and 40 kilojoules of work is done on it. Yes, Asen State.
40 kilojoules.
No. Who? Odupon.
40 joules.
40 what? That's incorrect.
40,000 joules.
No. Infant Saman.
We have an expression 2b minus 3 multiplying another expression 3a plus 2.
Yes. That brings us to the end of round 2. Round 3. I will make a statement to each school.
In the third round, Kwenyaku Senior High School performed excellently as they answered all their statements correctly.
1 butanol and 2 methyl 1 propanol are isomers.
True.
Yes. Odupon. 2 chlorophenol and 3 chlorophenol are examples of position isomers.
True.
Yes. Asen State. Diffusion can occur between similar or dissimilar solvents. Yes.
True.
Yes. Adankoman. In diffusion, the flow of particles can occur in all directions.
Madam, false.
No, it's true. Infant Saman, diffusion process can be stopped or reversed.
False.
Yes. That brings us to the end of round 3. Round 4 is the riddle round. I have 4 riddles whose clues I'll read out to you in series. Our first riddle.
In the final round, Infantiman girls who had been on the low throughout the contest managed to answer some of the riddles correctly.
But the greater I am, the greater the kinetic energy of the object. Infantiman.
Velocity.
No. I am a vector quantity. I am to talk what linear momentum is to force. Asen State.
Angular momentum.
Yes. That was the last clue, so 3 points. I am an even number. The sum of my digits is an odd square. Odupon.
64.
No. Infansaman.
36.
Yes. That was the 4th clue, so 3 points. I am one of the 2 types of transport tissues in vascular plants. My most distinctive cells are the long tracheary elements. Yes. Asen State. Yes.
The xylem tissue.
Yes. That brings us to the end of round 4. At the end of round 4, here are the scores. Odupon Senior High School, 2 points. Adankwaman Senior High School, 4 points. Kwenyaku Senior High School, 22 points.
Very good performance by Asen State College. Congratulations.
Asen State College, 46 points.
The last contest of the Central Regional Qualifiers was pretty exciting. With only 1 slot at stake, 2 of the schools, Hope College and Swedru Senior High School, fought really hard to win the contest.
Senior High School. Methodist High School. And last but not the least, Hope College. The National Science and Maths Quiz is sponsored by the Ghana Education Service with support from Dano Milk and Joy News This is a prime time production.
Swedru Senior High School dominated the first round, answering most of their questions correctly and picking most of the bonus questions.
300 years before the 19th century, acids and bases were identified by taste and effect on dyes. How were they differentiated?
Okay, over 300 years ago, before the 19th century, acid was identified and to be tasted as bitter, had a bitter taste, and base tastes sour.
Okay, it's the same thing you've said. No, as a bonus, yes. Nyakum.
Acid taste sour and bases taste bitter.
For a bonus, I won't give to you. Arrhenius' concept of acids and bases was the first molecular concept of identity of acids and bases. How were they distinguished from each other?
According to Arrhenius, acid is a substance which, when dissolved in water, produces hydrozonium or hydrogen ion. But bases are substance which, when dissolved in water, produces hydroxide.
I'll give to you.
Yes.
Swedru, how is neutralization defined according to the Arrhenius concept?
According to the Arrhenius concept, neutralization can be defined as the process in which an acid reacts with a base to produce salt and water. That is, the H plus of the acid reacts with OH minus of the base to form H2O.
Okay, this is what I'll do. Methodist High School. How can it be proven that the same reaction takes place when a strong acid is neutralized by a strong base?
This can be proven when the acid dissociates in water. It dissociates completely so that the H plus ion will be formed. And when the base also dissociates in water, it dissociates completely because it's a strong base, and then OH minus will be produced. The OH minus will react with the H plus to form water.
No. A bonus. Hope College. What is the most universal definition of acids and bases? State it.
The most universal definition of acids and bases is the Arrhenius one, which states that an acid dissolves in water to produce SS H3O plus ions or hydrozonium ions, whereas a base dissolves in water to produce SS hydroxyl ions or OH minus ions.
No, I won't take that. A bonus to Swedru.
The universal definition is that an acid is any substance that is able to produce H plus ions in any solution or any and a base is also acid.
No, that is incorrect. X squared plus y squared minus 10x plus 12y equals 0. Yes.
Y equals negative 1 over 6x.
No. Swedru.
Y equals 5 over 6 multiplying x.
Yes.
At the end of the first round, Swedru Senior High School was in a pretty comfortable lead with 25 points, with Hope College following closely with 17 points.
A 4.0 kilogram object.
The speed race was exciting, as most of the schools battled to have a go at the questions.
30 degrees to the horizontal. Find the magnitude of the friction force.
2 Newton.
Okay, that's incorrect. Swedru. Yes, go ahead.
We have the magnitude of the force to be 20 Newton.
Yes. What name is given to the type of adaptation that allow animals to blend with their...
And I'm camouflage.
Yes. If an interior angle has a measure 179 degrees. Yes, Swedru.
360 sides.
Yes. State the origin of the neutron that combines with the nitrogen to produce radioactive carbon. Hope College.
From cosmic rays.
Yes. That brings us to the end of round 2.
At the end of round 2, both Methodist Senior High School and Nyakrom Senior High School effected substitutions to change their game perhaps, as they weren't doing so well.
And then for Methodist High School, we have Michael Apiakran coming in for Nanai Kwejiriba. Round 3 is the true or false round. In this round, I'll make a statement to each school, and the team is to tell me if the statement I make is true.
Like the second round, the third round was equally exciting and competitive, as all the schools strive to answer most of their statements correctly. And they've got the speed too.
Linear momentum of the object.
It's true.
Yes. Swedru. The impulse of a constant force equals the product of the force and the duration of its action.
True.
Yes. Methodist High. The impulse of a force equals the time integral of the force.
False.
No, it's true. Hope College. Two forces have the same impulse if they have the same magnitude and act for the same duration.
True.
No, it's false. One element whose content determines the quality of crude petroleum is sulfur.
True.
Yes. Methodist High. Crude oil with high sulfur content is referred to as sweet.
False.
Yes. Hope College. The lower the octane number of petrol, the better its anti-knock property.
False.
Yes. On that note, we end round 3. Round 4. In this round, I'll be reading out a series of clues to riddles to you. It's open to all the schools at the same time. Our first riddle. I am a property of a moving object. I am a scalar quantity. Specifically, I am the magnitude of a vector quantity. The kinetic energy of a slowly moving object.
Speed.
Yes. I was reading the fourth clue, 3 points. My interaction with water is not as violent as the metal atomic number 11, from which my cation is derived. Methodist High.
NaCl.
No. I'll allow Hope College.
Na2O.
Yes. That was on the last clue, so 3 points. That brings us to the end of round 4. At the end of round 4, here are the scores. Nyakrom Senior High Technical School, 8 points. Methodist High School, 12 points. Ogwa Senior High Technical School, 19 points. Hope College, 34 points. Swedru Senior High School, 48 points.
Congratulations to Swedru Senior High School for picking the last lot of the Central Regional Qualifiers.